feel like I sound like a broken record, but every single month there are so many amazing new releases that come out. And before we get into the video, I wanted to go to Barnes and check out some of the new releases. There's two I've been for sure eyeing, but you know, you just go to Barnes and you let the books do the talking. My Barnes has all the new releases at the bottom floor, so I walked in and checked a few out. I also love all the tables that have the books stacked on them. There's just something about it that does good for my soul. I've been really wanting to read Demon Copperhead for forever, but it's not a new release, so I won't be buying that one, but one day I'm gonna read it. Spectacular Things is one of the books that I came to look at. A few of my friends have been absolutely raving about it, and I really like the cover. They had this little note, and it honestly just sounds so good. I wish Reese would stop putting her stickers on it, but that's another topic for another day. I almost stole this. I wanted it so bad. The Big Barrier Bones next to Frederick, who they're both just my favorite authors ever. I cannot wait to read A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. This is a new release, but I feel like I want to save it for the fall, so I put it back. Bug Hollow was a book that also caught my eye. I love a family drama, and this is a family drama, so I also eyed that one too. Now this is like my #1 new release that I want to read. It's called These Summer Storms, and it just sounds like the most perfect summer family drama book. All Fours is a book I keep hearing a lot about. It's a stunning cover, but I didn't know what it was about until one of my best friends told me. Promise Me Sunshine is a book so many people have been raving about. I actually didn't like Kara's first book, so I'm gonna give this one a chance eventually. I saw Passion Project, that sounds good too. Ashley's new book is out. It has to do with a musician, and my husband is a musician, so I usually love musical books. I feel like I have a lot of really good new releases that I can buy this month, and I'm so glad I stopped and I viewed them all. But before I left Barnes, I wanted to get my blind box that I'm gonna be using in this video, because this week we're gonna be reading books based on whatever blind box pick I pull. That was a mouthful, but you'll see. I hate to say it, but I think I am once again addicted to blind boxes. I have been holding so strong. No Labubus have been purchased. No Sunny Angels have been purchased. No Smiskies have been purchased. But in my last vlog, I stumbled upon a new blind box collection. That was Miffy. I've seen a couple Miffy blind boxes before. Nothing really caught my eye. I love Miffy, but I didn't really love, you know, the collections that they had for the blind boxes. Well, when I was in Barnes last week and I saw how cute this new collection was, I couldn't resist. I pulled the one I wanted, and now that high of getting the one you want, which for those of you that know, that usually doesn't happen. You know just as well as I do, that is how they keep you coming back. I recently saw this idea on my friend's Instagram, and I said, you know what? We're doing that. And I also feel like I might want to read 2 books in this video, so I'm gonna have a tiny ounce of self-control. Instead of doing 2 blind boxes, my friend Dylan has been doing this. I'm obsessed with it. There's something that like itches your brain when he does it, but he's been using this wheel to pick books for him to read from his never-ending TBR. Hello. I'm also gonna use the wheel. So in this week's video, this here blind box and the Wheel of Fortune are going to be picking the new releases that I read this week. Before I open this box, I need to also make all my little graphics and stuff. Let's look through the books I have as potential options for me to pick from. For what I have that's newer, I really love Wally Lamb, and it's been a really long time since I've read one of his books. If you're new here, I really like heavy-hitting, emotional, sad, will make me stare at a wall and contemplate the choices of my life when I'm done reading it. And Wally Lamb's usually like that, so this is gonna be one of the books I add to either my spinner or to my blind box picker. This was also sent to me by the publisher. This is The House of Beth. I just saw somebody from Simon say that this was like a gothic psychological suspense book. The main character has OCD, psychological suspense. Sign me up. So I'm gonna add this one to the list as well. This is not out yet, but it comes out August 12th and I really want to read it as well. I feel like by the time I get this video done, it will almost be out. I genuinely don't know anything about it besides this cover is just, it's doing it for me. This is one I've been eyeing for a while and I've also been, I feel like adding it to a lot of my list. This is Aftertaste. It says a food story to binge, a ghost story to devour, a love story to savor. I believe this has something to do with a magical restaurant and that was enough for me to want to read it. I've also been hearing a lot of great things about Swift River. The author of Broken Country recommended this book. We're gonna add Swift River as well. I always want to call this book 8 Notes on Infinity, but it's just called Notes on Infinity. This just came out in June, and it says a singular, extraordinary debut about Zoe and Jack, Harvard students who find themselves propelled into the intoxicating biotech startup world when they announce they've discovered a cure for aging. Literally sign me up. I feel like for now, that's a really good start. I also have a couple of books on my Kindle that I got from the library that are newer that I could add as well. I just downloaded King of Ashes, which is S.A. Cosby's new book. I read Razorblade Tears last month or the month before. I need to talk about that book more because it was so good. It combined like horror, psychological thriller, mystery, race, and family. Like it combined everything so well. I was truly blown away and I've been really wanting to read his other books and he just came out with a new one. So I did just get King of Ashes. I also just got Talking at Night, which a lot of my friends love, but it's not a newer release. So I'll wait and not add that to the list as well. I knew I had one more. I also have A Treachery of Swans and that is a new young adult book that came out in June, I believe. Okay, let's see here. So we have Aftertaste, House of Beth, Notes of Infinity, King of Ashes, Spectacular Things, which this is a new release for July that I'm thinking about using my new release purchase on, or I was thinking of doing These Summer Storms. I've heard really good things about both of these books, so we'll just have to see. But I also have River is Waiting, What Hunger, A Treachery of Swans, and Swift River. I'm thinking about like maybe matching the book to the Miffy. Okay, we're gonna do What Hunger. What Hunger is honestly, to me, giving straight Miffy. These Summer Storms. I think my number one is These Summer Storms. Meemaw's not very good at Photoshop. My husband is though. I'm gonna put Spectacular Things as The Crown because that's also one I really want to read. And number one and Crown are giving like the winners. So Aftertaste to me is giving The Straight Man. So we're gonna put him there. Swift River is honestly giving Daisies for sure. Okay, and then last but not least, it's giving House of Beth to me. How do we feel, guys? Moment of silence because it's time to open the blind box. It's time. Once again, here are my possibilities, and I'm really hoping for The Crown or for the Daisies. Let me do my little enchantment. Okay, you guys look first and tell me what it is, okay? I'm nervous. Okay, I'm gonna look. Number one, Miffy. She's number one in my heart, and she picked my number one most wanted to read book that came out for July. Number one, I put as the number one book that I wanted to read, which is These Summer Storms. I'm so excited. Even though I did see it at the bookstore the other day when I went through all of the books that I wanted to read and that looked good, a lot of times you probably do too, I will go browse around the bookstore for quite a while. I'll take pictures, I'll add it to my Goodreads. I usually, while I'm in the store, if there's something I really want, I go and I try to find it on Pango because it's always gonna be less expensive, and I would also rather buy a used book than a new book. I didn't buy These Summer Storms yet, but I'm gonna go find it on Pango, purchase it, and then as soon as it comes in, we'll start reading it. I come to you from Tulsa, Oklahoma, where it's hot as Hades' ass crack. It's a beautiful sunny day and I'm getting ready to go out and explore, get my coffee. There's a fun bookstore that I like here and just see what I get into. But I hate to say it, but I am pushing through these summer storms. I haven't really given you an update yet. I am about halfway through right now. I hate to say it, but I really probably should DNF this, but I'm not going to. I'm probably gonna regret this, okay? I'm gonna regret this. I already know. But since Miffy picked this book for me, we're gonna follow through with the challenge. This book was advertised as a adult inheritance games, which if you haven't read inheritance games, this young girl randomly gets somebody's whole fortune and they have to complete like these rules and riddles to get this inheritance. So this book was advertised like that. And then somebody says on the back, this twisty Secession meets Clue debut is deliciously impossible to put down. Clue? Y'all have played Clue before, okay? So just like, I read that and I was like, okay, that sounds amazing. That quote, and then just on the internet, people are like, this is twisty, I can't put it down. I was like, okay, I want that in my life. Sign me up, it's family drama. The whole point of this book is that this uberly rich off their ass family that has secrets and drama. They're torn apart. Their oldest daughter, Alice, is estranged. Their father, who basically think he's Steve Jobs, okay? He invented Apple, but it's its own made up thing in this book. But just think Steve Jobs, think technology, think iPads, okay? One of the most richest man in the world, their father dies. All of the family goes to this private New England island where they grew up and they all have to meet together, and their dad has left them with these tasks to complete and they all have to complete them, all 4 children and the mother and the lawyer who's also involved, and he's like a romance interest in this book, which I'm not sure how I feel, but they all have to complete these tasks in order to get their inheritance at the end of the week. So that is the point of this story. And I thought it was gonna be, you know, high risk, high reward, but these tasks that their now dead father has them doing, one is chores, one is to stay on the island the whole week, one is to break up with her boyfriend, and the other is simply to do nothing. So there's like no high risk, high rewards, and I'm just bored. I'm not connecting to the characters. Everybody's ticking me off, and this book has been falsely advertised to me. I'm not having the best time. I'm not really liking what Miffy picked out for me. But for now, I'm in Tulsa. I'm gonna go out, and I'm gonna keep reading. Everything I felt about this book when I updated you last continued with the book. I can't finish it, guys. I have 50 pages left and I cannot finish it. I don't care about the secrets. I don't care about the plot. I'm gonna give this book a generous 2 stars. Everything was there. There was plot, there was good vibes. It was on a really cool island in New England. They were rich, there was secrets, there was romance. There was everything you could have wanted in a book, especially in a summer book to binge, but it simply fell flat. This was falsely advertised, and this is another lesson. I feel like you guys know Heather McCleary. Whenever I'm like, you need to read this book, you need to read this book, or I ask her if she's read, you know, a newer release that people are talking about, she's always like, I'm gonna give it some time and I'm gonna see. And I feel as if I may need to do that as well. A lot of times, not always, but a decent amount of time when a new release comes out. If I had to pick between usually disappointed or not usually disappointed, I'm usually disappointed. Unless it's an author that I've read before and I know and I love and I know I'm gonna like their new release. I don't like generalizing. I don't like, assuming, but a lot of times I'm learning, and maybe I need to take on Bessie's Heather rule. A lot of times new releases that are hyped up, they fall flat. It's time to spin the wheel of fortune. I'm gonna add some books that didn't make it from my graphic and a couple other books. I'm gonna add them to the wheel. I'm gonna spin, and we're gonna read our next book for this video. I'm 26% into King of Ashes. I love S.A. Cosby so much. Like, I need to show you a picture of him. I'm obsessed with him. Look at him. He's slowly but surely becoming my new favorite, not necessarily thriller, but more like crime author. He's so good at what he does. I've only read one other of his books, Razorblade Tears. That book is still like sitting with me deep, deep, deep in my soul. And I can tell this one is gonna do the same as well. I'm a quarter of the way in, but I am liking this one a lot because it's a family drama. It's a family drama, guys. My favorite genre right now. It's probably gonna stay that way for a long time. This is a newer, thing I've learned about myself is how much I love family dramas. Wonder why? Anybody else around here the oldest and come from a divorced family with a lot of trauma? King of Ashes. It is a family drama that's like centered around crime. There's two kind of like crimes going on. The one that we're mostly following is present day. When the book opens up, you get to meet Roman, who is the oldest of three. He has a sister and a brother that live back in a small town in Virginia where Roman grew up. Roman is living this like crazy, rich kind of life. He manages people in Atlanta, a lot of high profile people, but he's living in Atlanta. The book opens up and he gets a call from his sister and she's like, hey, dad got in a really bad accident. You need to come home. So Roman goes home, and upon coming home for his dad, he realizes his little brother is knee deep in some horse shit. Like, he is in big ass motherfucking trouble, okay? With really bad people. It's not looking good. So that's what's going on in present day. Another crime that's like kind of in the in-between is when Roman was a little kid, his mom, who worked at the hospital, went to work one day and never came back. Nobody knows what happened to his mom. It's kind of like the town legend. People have, you know, their opinions and assumptions, but that's also going on behind the scenes at the same time too. But for the most part, you're in present day with Roman and his siblings. Crazy enough, I've never really spent any time thinking, reading, watching anything that has to do with a crematorium, but his family owns a crematorium. And that's how they made their living. That's how they made their name in this really small town. This one's gonna be a good one. If you get anything so far from this video, read S.A. Cosby. He's getting up to Pookie status, okay? I am loving S.A. Cosby. Last night I read for a while longer. I got like 35% in, and the book is just so MF good. And while I was reading, I think it was like chapter 5 or 6 or something, the main character Roman was making his siblings cheeseburger casserole, and I said, I'm making that. He was talking about it like 3 times, and I was like, cheeseburger casserole, cheeseburger casserole, cheeseburger casserole. I would have probably gone to get ingredients last night to make it, but I stopped reading and I couldn't go to the grocery store because I went to go see Oh Hi, Logan Lerman's new movie. And if you want to go see a movie that is so funny and so good and just like a twist on a normal rom-com and just Gen Z humor, I was laughing my ass off. It's one of the best movies I've seen in a really long time. Go see it. But I stopped reading, couldn't make my cheeseburger casserole last night, so I got ready for the day. I am honestly probably just gonna binge this book. I am loving it and I can't stop thinking about it. I have nothing else to do today and we're just gonna read, and for dinner we're gonna make cheeseburger casserole. I am now 46% in. I'm just about to start chapter 18. Shit's about to get real really fast. They're trying to pay back this debt and it's just, I flip every page, not sure what's about to go down or if somebody's about to die. And there's really high stakes and a lot of violence already, and I'm not even halfway through. So it's time for my nighttime routine.
Yes.
The most important part of the night. I'm gonna read, Joseph's gonna chess, and I will see you tomorrow to finish this book and this video off. Ooh. You know those days when you really wanna read, but then you keep scrolling and you can't like break that cycle? That's kind of where I've been at today, but I almost just peed my pants because one of my favorite characters from Razorblade Tears showed up in this book. I love a crossover, let me just tell you. I'm 82% in, I have an hour left of this book, and all I'm gonna do tonight is eat and read, actually read, not pick up my phone every 3 minutes, hello, and finish this book with you and finish off this video. Oh, no, it's gonna be bad. I've officially finished King of Ashes. Boy, do I have some thoughts. The whole time I was like, I'm gonna throw up. This is so violent and honestly like gory a little bit. Take that very lightly. It's not the whole book, but during the violent scenes, I was like, ugh. You don't want to look at it, but you can't help it. And I feel like this book felt like that. This is my second S.A. Cosby book, and I will say that this one was a lot more violent than Razorblade Tears. I felt like a lot of times I was like, but I couldn't stop looking, you know? After finishing King of Ashes, here's a little crown in my palm. I am crowning S.A. Cosby the king of Southern grit. He has this beautiful, unique talent to do what he does so well. I feel like he combines so many different genres and things that are so important and tells these stories of broken people that know that they're doing wrong, but I don't know how to explain it. You just have to read one of his books and you'll see. He is like really fastly becoming one of my favorite authors. I love what he's doing. It feels unique, it feels real, it feels so true to who he is. King of Ashes was a story about family, about secrets. I will say it's a thriller that everything, and in Razorblade Tears too, I feel like everything came together at the very end. On your Kindle, it says how much time you have left, and it said 19 minutes in the book, and I was like, where is this going? Like all the pieces hadn't come together yet. I was like, we have 19 minutes left. Like that's not a lot of time for everything to come together. Within a blink of an eye, I was like, what? Everything came together at the end. I thought it wasn't going to, and I was like, this might change my rating. Chef's kiss to the ending. I am gonna give this one 4 stars, and I think S.A. Cosby is fucking brilliant, and I cannot wait to read his backlog and to see what else he has in store.